do this.
Yes. Hello. Hello. Hello.
I feel like I used to go live all the time, and I'm like, what is this? I don't know what to do.
This is all new to me. All right. Let me get
Oh,
at it.
goodness. Yes.
Request.
Peace, y'all, and welcome. I
Hello.
am Vanessa
Hello.
Suhe, and we've got Daphne with us. So forgive us, you're going to see our eyes darting from like different places. It's because we are streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. So there she is.
Hello, everyone. Can you see me? Hold on.
Yes, there we
Oh, that's
go.
not gonna work. There we go. There we go. Is that good? Can you see it? It's
Yes,
hard to find balance into the both
got
streaming.
you, got you. So, I mean, not only is it 8:30 at night and we done both worked a full day, and I'm sure followers have been busy today. We're gonna keep it short and sweet, but we gotta get right into the nitty-gritty of who is Gathering Hill, who is Daphne, and what is this the normal human diet? Like what is all of these things? What are all of these things? So I'll start off. I'm Vanessa Suhe. I'm the founder and CEO of Gathering Heal. Gathering Heal is a therapeutic space that's completely virtual for melanated women, Massachusetts, Georgia, and Florida. So hit us up. Our Instagram handle is our website, gatheringheal.us. I like to keep things, you know, simple. Work smarter, not harder.
Straightforward. That's right.
Let's skip all the extra BS. So that's Gathering Heal. We love supporting melanated women, hold space for us. Daphne's got her specialty she'll talk about in a moment. I really enjoy working with women who are on this path of trying to really discover their self-awareness and really dive into it, right? Because that's not easy either. And especially if you've gone years in your life and have felt disconnected, maybe feel like I don't even know what my intuition sounds like or feels like because I haven't listened to it or I've been taught not to, right? So here we are just like unraveling all the things, decolonizing and
Yep.
throwing out the
Get rid of all the smoke.
yes, yes, it's just clouding my vision, all our vision. So
That's
that's
right.
that's what we do in our space. That's a lot of what we do in our space. But today's not about me. Today's about Daphne and the normal human diet. So, Daphne, let's jump right on in, girl. Tell us
Yes.
three fun things about you.
Three fun things about me. Huh. Well, I consider being born and raised in Puerto Rico a fun thing about me.
That's not fun.
um, I also speak multiple languages fluently. Oh yeah, that's
Hey,
right.
that's right.
um, and let's see, another fun thing about me. I had my first pet as an adult. Super random, but it's real.
I love it. I know what pet you have, but tell us, what was your first pet?
His name is Obi.
Oh my God. He's
He's a
so
dog.
fuzzy and so cute.
I love him. He's great.
Yes, we are here for all the fur babies. Always welcome. My favorite is when I'm trying to focus in a meeting or something like that, and the cat walks across the screen, and all you see is his butt and his tail, and I'm like, bro, Marks, I'm trying to work here. He did that.
Trying to be serious. Trying to do hard work out here.
Right, right.
Ruining my vibes.
I'm gonna charge him office space, some rent. Okay, so those are three fun things about you, but tell us a little bit about why social work.
Why social work? Well. It took me a while. I fell off of, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I was like, I just want to help people, and I didn't know how. And then,
That's a big question. What do I want to do?
exactly. Who knows what they want to do at the age of 18 anyway? That's kind of weird that we expect people to do that.
Right.
Uh, but yeah, it took me a while. I actually started with nursing
Hmm.
which
I
is,
didn't know that.
interesting. And then that didn't quite work out, obviously. And then, I stuck with psychology as something that I was interested in, but
Hmm.
psychology was too white.
What?
The research
Accurate.
and all of that is, it's so white, capitalistic, and I didn't really see myself in the research I was seeing and looking into.
Mm.
And I was like, okay, this is not my jam. It's
This
not
ain't it. That
training,
was clear.
nursing 2.0. Just, no. So I decided to stick it out with in-home family therapy actually for a few years to see kind of how I would vibe with it, and I liked it. But it was really intense, and I feel like there wasn't enough support for
Mm.
the staff doing the work, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and eventually I just kept trying different things within the behavioral health field. I ended up working with a discharge department at a hospital here in Boston. And I also ended up working at an interdisciplinary practice in a behavioral health department. Um, so I did several things before I finalized my decision in social work.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and really, social work is the thing for me because I quite honestly don't know what I want to do 20 years from now. And I need something that's going to keep my options open.
That part. That part.
I didn't want to spend all this money on something that I was like, oh, what if 15 years from now I'm not in it.
Right.
Um,
Right.
and so social work really opened it up and really allowed me to think about things and different career paths in a way that was healthy for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And that, you spoke to like literally my favorite part about being a social worker is that we have so many options. You want to be a
Mhm.
politician, you could do that. You want to be an entrepreneur, do it, right? But like through
Manager,
the manager,
therapist,
so many. But the
yeah,
common thread is the social
program
worker,
director, group
advocate,
maker.
group maker. Well, look at that beautiful segue, y'all. See what you did there. I see what you did there. You know what? It allows to tap into such creativity, right? And I think that that's the part that gets me most excited about your group is because like I remember the moment we were in supervision and the idea just like came across Daphne and she was like, this is it. This is what I want to do. This is the group that I want to do. And the excitement, right? Like
The
I felt
fire in
it.
me.
Yes, yes. So talk to us a little bit about the normal human diet and kind of like how it came to be.
Well, the normal human diet really, like, the name of it is a tongue in cheek. It's supposed to be very intentionally, like, super funny type deal, like, very unserious.
Hmm.
Um,
Sounds about right for us. Yep.
yeah, and I wanted to include the name diet, the word diet in there because I wanted it to piss off people looking up diets,
Hmm. Hmm.
promoting diets, things like that. Um, and I really felt like there wasn't enough conversation around Black and Brown communities, specifically with eating disorders, because just like very recently did we just start getting access and actually getting
Hmm.
diagnosed with eating disorders. Um, as far as I know, about how was it 5-10 years ago, it was like impossible, unheard of, completely wild for a fat person to have an eating disorder. Um, and so it's now called atypical anorexia, which is, I don't know,
Ay, ay, ay.
it's not my favorite thing, but it's being spoken about, which is what's important. But even with the recent, increase, right, in awareness, there's still not enough.
Mm.
A lot of my clients, when I first diagnosed them, they're like, "Oh my God, you're the first person to talk to me about my body and food like this. I've never met with a provider who actually cares about my relationship to food and my body." And
Mm.
they're all just like, no, lose X amount of weight and then come back. First, you have to meet this criteria for you to be treated appropriately, like a human being. Like I don't know. It's
Right.
really wild. Um, and I also don't think people understand enough how diet culture really relies on not knowing and not being aware of the roots.
Mm.
Just like, white supremacy, it's a byproduct of white supremacy. Yes, people, that's what we're going to do in this group. We're going to name it. We are going to name it. I'm not afraid.
No, we don't sugarcoat shit.
You should do, right? Um, and so, as a byproduct of white supremacy, diet culture really thrives in isolation.
Mm.
And this group is really meant to kind of start tearing all that apart because we're in it together. There's more of us than we know, and it's time for us to really become more aware of how these things inform us in our decision making. Like
Mm-hmm.
the influence of society and diet culture is it impacts every part of people's lives.
It's embedded in so many different systems in different
Yeah.
ways. And, thinking about the curriculum, that's my favorite part is that you speak to it, right? How is this showing up when I'm just walking down the street? How is it impacting me? When I'm at the doctor's office, how is it impacting me? Trying to access different services, what's happening here, right? So it's like it's this multi-layered piece of you're going to talk about some history around diet culture and body and medical, right? But then as you're increasing people's awareness and as participants are going through the workbook and reflecting and taking their time doing it, well, my favorite question is like, well, then what? Okay, you taught me some history, you increased my awareness, now I see all the bullshit.
Now what?
So now what do I do? So what happens there?
Right. And I find that that's a lot of the issues too with providers nowadays. Is what clients come to us for answers to a lot of the questions that they have, and we often are like blah blah blah, let's gloss over your questions and just give you some vanilla across the board type of intervention, like uh, take very 10 deep breaths is like not appropriate for everybody, or not everyone can go get their nails done, like, you know what I mean. It's just like,
Right, for self-care. Yep.
yeah. So I do find that having actual tools is very important, or else, like, why am I doing this?
Right. Right. And
um,
tools that you can use in different settings, right? We're not just
mhm.
talking about, oh, this works for me over here in my house, but then when I go meet with my doctor, I don't know what to do.
Yeah,
Well, that's not really
exactly.
helpful.
And the power differential is there no matter where you go with providers. There's always going to be
Hmm.
like, oh, you're the boss, I'm here, like, you're the expert on my life, which is not, it's not real, but it's just the kind of sense that you get. And I also find that Black and brown communities, it's harder, right? It's just generally harder for us to get our voices heard and be respected and acknowledged and validated for what we're coming into these offices for.
Hmm.
um, and us, adding fatness to the equation makes it so they have this medical reasoning to be like, we need to focus on your weight, instead
Hmm.
of what you actually came in for. For example, like, there people write about this and experience this all the time, where they go in for a strep throat and they come out with bariatric referral. Like,
Hmm.
what?
Hmm.
I came in
That escalated quickly.
like, what even? It just doesn't make any sense. And I feel like, well, people don't really have the tools to advocate for themselves.
Hmm.
And I'm hoping that with this course, they will feel a bit more empowered to speak up and have the language to articulate, like, I absolutely do not consent to this. Maybe not that forward, but we'll find other ways.
Hmm. Yeah, because again, it comes back to that awareness piece that you have the right to say, I do not consent to this. I do not want this to happen. I don't want to do this.
Don't want to be
But
weighed.
then
Not
I
today.
don't want to be weighed. Not today, Satan, not today. Okay. But like the awareness is like there's something so alleviating and hearing and knowing that you have the ability to do that. Then you got to give yourself the permission to do it. But then once I give myself permission, what exactly am I saying? And again, that's another piece that I love about this group that you put together and the workbook is that there are literally sentences and phrases that you can repeat if you want to, or you can write in your own verbiage and make your own version of, fuck
Whatever sounds
no,
more
I'm
like
not going to
you.
weigh you. Right. Something that sounds like you. um, because there's so much empowerment behind that. And the best part is being able to do so in community and not off by yourself. Am I the only one? How do I do this? This is really hard. Like it's not. Let's take a step back
Hmm.
and open up and recognize that we've got homies with us. There are other people around here we can have this conversation with. That we can sit here and be like, this is really fucking hard.
Yeah, because diet culture is everywhere, and it's an everyday occurrence that you have to confront.
It's
And
exhausting.
let me be clear, it happens to both men, women, non-binary folks. Like it happens to diet culture impacts everyone.
Hmm.
Everyone. It's not only, it's not specific to a gender or sex. It's just not.
Yeah. So who's this group for? Like who should be coming through?
Well, anyone who is sick of cycling through diets, number one. Number two, people who are ready to not be waiting in the doctor's office when they're not comfortable doing so and they need help
Hmm.
figuring things out, especially with navigating things like family conversations or, how to talk with friends about these topics or,
Hmm.
loved ones, if it's a good decision to do so. Because, it's not your job either to educate everyone. It's just about how you interact with the world and really about improving the relationship you have with food and your body. And that's an intimate process. So also empowering you to be like, I don't owe anyone any explanations as to why I'm not dieting anymore.
Right. That part.
Yeah.
That part. And with that, deepening that intimacy there, you're also enriching your relationship with yourself and with your body, right? And that for me is this multi-layered. It's not just understanding cognitively what's happening, but it's also letting that information drop down into my body and really embodying it, really loving myself literally for who I am and how I show up, how I
You're
choose
good
to
enough
eat and move
today.
through. That's right.
Yes, just as you are.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the specific exercises that we can practice it, especially in this group. Number one would be like getting rid of clothes that don't fit you anymore, donating
Mm.
them, giving them
Mm.
away.
Oh,
Um,
you mean the people who got like a half a closet that doesn't fit anymore, but I'm working back towards that, right?
yeah, you're
Enjoy where you are now. Go
exactly
get some dope
find
clothes that look and feel good now.
exactly get comfortable clothing. If you need someone to tell you it's okay to not fit in the jeans you wore 15 years ago, let me be that person.
Let me tell you that right now.
Right here and now. It's not gonna happen and it's okay. Bodies change and that's natural, just like nature.
Hmm. Hmm. Absolutely. So I think we kind of touched on it a little bit, but like my last question to wrap things up, it's I'm a participant. I went through the group. What's different for me when I step out and those four group sessions are done?
You're probably gonna be a little pissed off, to be honest.
Ah, that's real. Nothing like some good fury to light some passion and get it out there.
Yeah. You're ready enough to take anyone's shit.
Like that pissed me off. That pissed
That
me off
pissed me
over
off. I'm
there.
not doing
Fuck
that.
that
I'm not doing
system.
that. Exactly. You're gonna there's gonna
Yeah.
be levels to it. There's gonna come in waves, right? Because there's also a grieving process to all that time you spent, right? Thinking that
Mm,
you could catch up to this like ideal that just keeps getting moved,
mm,
keeps getting changed and shifted, right?
mhm,
Um, it's okay to be pissed off about that. And so one thing is definitely going to be like the way that you carry yourself might be different, in your body.
mm,
Instead of feeling
mhm,
like you need to conform, it'll be more like, no thanks, I don't have time for this. Um, More important things to do with my life than worry about my weight.
mm,
If I feel good, if I am healthy otherwise, and I'm, exercising regularly and happy with my life, why are you worrying so much about losing X amount of weight?
mm.
Diet culture is a constant thing. It's a constant chase. It's never good enough to lose the 5 pounds. You always have to go for more.
Right, right. And like getting off of that hamster wheel. Oh, I did that 5 pounds. Oh, now the next one, and then the next one, and it's like, okay.
And what happens when you gain it all? Because you will gain it. That's another thing we talk about in this group.
Mm,
Is what happens when you inevitably gain it all back. And sometimes, most often, people will gain more than when they first started
mm,
dieting.
mm.
So yeah, that's mhm.
So if you're a little pissed off, you'll have some resources and some tools and
Valid.
lots of ways to reflect for yourself, right? Because this isn't we can do this in community and we can hear some different perspectives and so on and so forth, but at the end of the day, we got to step back and be like, okay, but what does this all mean to me and how's this going to impact my life?
Mhm.
I'm not out here living for anybody else. This is my life,
Yeah.
my body.
And who am I?
So,
Yeah. Why am I trying to chase this thing that was set by someone else? Beauty standard that was set by someone else.
with numbers and
It's
stats
important
that
to note that.
weren't researched for us either, right? So, but clearly we could go on and on
we
about
could.
this
We
topic
could go
because,
on and on. And that's why we made a group.
yep, exactly, exactly. So if this is something that you might be interested in, or if you know somebody who is, don't be greedy. You already know, share it with the homies. Send this out.
That's
You can
right.
head on over to the link in our bio, the Normal Human Diet, and read and hear a little bit more about it. The group starts this month, so don't drag your feet. Don't take your sweet ass time. We don't have time for that, okay?
Limited slot.
Limited slots too,
That too.
yes, right? Because these are deep, intimate conversations. We're not trying to have it with 50 people. Absolutely not.
No,
Intimate group.
no, exactly. We want to go about it in a responsible way. So,
Mm,
for sure, I wanted to make sure to be able to give the group my attention the way that they deserve, and splitting it between too many people is just not it. So, this is
right.
a heavy topic. So, I'm just excited
Mhm.
to dive in and do this work with y'all.
Here we go. So sign up for our newsletter so you can get some more updates about this. You can also just check out solely the normal human diet
Yeah.
information. All those links are in our bio. Please head on over there, check it out. Don't be greedy, share it with the homies, and you don't ever hesitate to send us a DM or email us if you got any questions, trying to figure out some nuances about the group, whatever it might be. But nonetheless, that's enough talking on our end. Appreciate you for coming through, or appreciate you for checking out this video and the Q&A after. Um, but yeah, stay safe, enjoy yourselves, and take good care. Peace, y'all.
Bye.
All right, and this bad boy over here too.